Angeles in the United States of America, the fire that has started, for days now, and it seems there is no end in sight. There was a time it slowed down, and many persons were thinking, okay, maybe it's the end of it. But then Mother Nature has taken its course again because the wind is being blamed, for the spreading of the fire. And we will be rolling some images and videos, and some of them are quite disturbing, just so that you're aware and you have a glimpse of what is happening. Take a look.
Oh my God. You want to do it?
Right there, see that? Little fire tornado. That's amazing. All right, ready? Hopefully it stays.
Right, and that's just an excerpt of what is going on right there. Much more deeper, and uh, it's one that you might want to say and use all kind of adjective because it's really, really bad. It's not just one of those things. And this morning, we will be joined, by some residents of the United States of America. And we have our first guest joining us all the way from Philadelphia. She's here with us virtually, of course. Bolachi Atonda. She joins us virtually. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. First of all, I must say our thoughts and prayers are with the people of, the U.S. as a country, L.A., California, everyone involved in this matter, including yourself. Possibly you might have one or two persons, that are directly or indirectly affected in this. That is, it's a sad one with what we are seeing from this end. And let me just ask you, firstly, how bad is it?
Very, very bad. We're talking about the fire that cut across two communities, about over 40 acres of land. Think about it. And we're talking about over 12,000 houses in the two communities, and a lot of people have died. They're still looking for about 12 people, I think. About 24 people have been reported dead. And it's just so sad. It's terrible.
So and just like you said, cut across a couple of communities. With the information available in some quarters, there is the Palisades fire, the Eastern fire, and Host fire. Are these the communities you are referring to?
Yes. Yeah. So the last one was that was a very small one, so they were able to get rid of that one. But the other two, the Palisade and the Eastern one, those two are the most. They're very destructive. Everything is gone all the way down, and it's going to take a lot of time for them to rebuild the old community.
And with there is information that we have from this end that a lot of intervention has been done, but as at this morning, the available information says it started on January 7. The Palisade fire, same as the Eastern and the Host fire, and it's been 5 days, 12 hours, 39 minutes by the available information. And acres burned in Palisades fire, according to Daily Mail, has been put at 23,713. In Eaton, 14,117, and host fire 799. Okay, the host fire has been contained 89%, the eating fire 27%, but I think the worst is the Palisade fire. The containment percentage, according to the Daily Mail, has been put at 13%, and that's quite bad. It's still raging. And is there any reason given for this fire? What started it?
So first of all, let's be clear.
Yeah.
Every year there's usually fire outbreak in California. Every year. But it's usually between May and October. The summertime. So what makes this different is the fact that it's coming during the wintertime. And it's coming at a time when it's supposed to be cold. But the wind, the Santa Ana wind, is the one that is causing the problem. It's so huge, the wind is just blowing. It's so difficult for the firefighter to contain that kind of fire because it's really huge. They weren't expecting anything as big as that. And if they're even preparing to curtail the fire, they were actually waiting till around May, June. So they were not really, really prepared for this magnitude of fire outbreak. So that's the problem. The problem here is the wind. And just to let you know, they said the wind is coming back tonight.
Okay.
So they've been warning them it's going to start all over again tonight. And they've been telling some part of Los Angeles they need to evacuate about 150,000 people. They've been wanting people to get ready to leave too.
Okay. Is it actually, can the government be blamed for this fire? Because some persons have come out to say that they weren't actually prepared fully for this fire, even with the fact that they were aware of it.
The fact remains that there's no way you can blame the government in this situation. I know they were talking about the budget cuts and stuff like that, but the chiefs for the two communities I've actually talked about, it is true that they know there's going to be fire outbreak, but they weren't expecting something as huge as this.
So
and a lot of experts have even said there's no firefighter in the world that can contain that kind of fire that we are seeing right now in Los Angeles. And it's because of the wind. Unless we can, and there's nothing we can do, there's no way they can stop the wind. Even if they have helicopters, airplanes that are ready to come and, the wind is actually stopping them from doing most of the things that they really need to do.
Okay.
So it's not too much about the government, no. It's the Mother Nature, period.
Okay, it's the Mother Nature, fine. The wind is actually stopping them. So what's the best option right now? Is it to just evacuate those living in the area?
Well, yeah. I mean, for now, the two communities, we don't have anybody living there. Although some people might be going back to see their houses. The government is telling them not to do that because we still have wires on the floor. We still have, the smoke and everything. They're advising them not to go back. But, people want to see the remains of their buildings and stuff like that. But it's not advisable. And again, like I said, there might be another one coming tonight because the wind is still coming back. And a lot of people are prepared to leave their homes anytime from now.
Right.
So if we're expecting the wind to come up again tonight, does that mean that what is the expectation? What are we looking at? Like, how far is the fire going to go this time around?
First of all, they will find it difficult to continue to stop the one that is on right now.
Okay.
And fear that it might still start in another area and it's going to affect more buildings, more houses, and a lot of people are going to get displaced at the same time.
Right. And, it's when you check the aerial view of just like the one we have on our screen right now, it's looking like an apocalypse. And one will shudder and think, is this the United States of America? Is this LA? California, the county, and all of these things. And Uzans, my colleague, asked about, there are some sentiment in some quarters or some court to say, the governor, Gavin Newsom, and possibly the cabinet mismanaged. There, yes, some of these things happen naturally, but maybe things that were supposed to be available, they were not available. The water bodies have been mismanaged, all in the name of climate talks and green energy and all of these things, that the city, didn't have what it should have, possibly could have been curtailed before it gets to this level. Is there any truth to that, or you don't share that narrative?
I personally don't share that. I don't share that because the fact is that we're talking about the water pressure that they're going to need to curtail this fire. We're talking about hydrants. And, the hydrants, we usually have them in front of houses. And that's what you pull out when there's fire in any area. They pull out the hydrant that will have the water coming out. That's the water that the firefighters use, for fire. But in this situation, we're talking about a whole block, a whole community on fire at the same time. So you think about it, what kind of water pressure do you think that can control that? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. We're talking about 23,000 acres of land on this side, another 17 on this side. We're talking about the same states, not different states. And they're going to be pulling water from the same pressure. So for me, I still believe it's the wind. There's nothing they can do about it. It's like we're talking about snow. When we have snow in this part of the United States, and we have accident and stuff like that. We have accident not because the city is not prepared, but the Mother Nature is going to do what it's going to do no matter what. So that point, I know they want to, we have this blame game going on. They want to blame the governor. They want to blame the mayor. They want to say no. But we're talking about maybe 100 houses, maybe 50 houses. But we're talking about thousands of houses here. And the way the fire is burning, if you take a look at it, it's not burning like from the ground up. It's like it's falling like rainfall. So, it's going to involve a lot of water pressure to calm stuff like that down. Now, beside the wind, they might be able to do a little bit, but it's still going to be too much for them to curtail.
The reason why many persons want to blame the leadership at this point, you said it yourself, that in California, fires are not really a strange thing, especially at a particular period in time. What the wind has always been there, what made these years, or this one that is raging on, what makes it different? Is it the handling, or you're still putting it on Mother Nature?
I put it on climate change. And that goes with Mother Nature as well. Because like I said, this happens every year. So it's not to them. But not in January. It always starts between May and October.
Exactly.
And have something ready for that. And it's a certain area. It's like they have a peculiar area that this fire, happens every year. But this one is just something, honestly, there's so many conspiracy theories going around that I don't really want to get involved with, but
right.
I think there's too much going on up there, too much.
With information available now to you, you are in the U.S., how has the evacuation been? Has it been smooth? Are people cooperating? If you have people there, what are they telling you? How have they been coping?
Well, it's been smooth because they were warned anyway. When it started, the first one started around 10 o'clock. And one at 18 started around maybe 7 o'clock at night. So they actually warned them. And it's something that they used to. Evacuation is easy. Everybody was leaving. Although a lot of people get stuck in it, but they were able to, wriggle their way around. So it's been so smooth. And the most important thing is that a lot of people have been coming out to help them.
Mm.
A lot of people that our houses are not affected they have opened their homes to people to come. We have food, we have shelter. People are actually coming out to help. This is not the usual black and white now. Anywhere we have people that have rented so many Airbnb for people. Just walk in there, just stay there, hotels, everything. People are really helping each other out.
Yeah. I like us to speak to that as well, because it's very important that this time, just like you said, it's not a matter of race or a matter of color. Anybody of means should please help. How important is that, that brotherhood kind of sharing for now in those communities, saying, please come in, whatever we have, we can share. How important?
Very, very important. And the good part is that people are actually reaching out. In fact, a lot of people are traveling down there to actually help people. We have somebody, I was reading about someone that, this is funny. They treasure their pets, their cats, their dogs and stuff like that. We have somebody that saying, look, I have a big land that I can, shelter all your reptiles, your dogs. So these are the people that we're talking about. We have a lot of, they don't have to know you. If you have proof that you've been evacuated, your house is burned down, you can walk in anywhere, get food, get clothes, sleep, and, And, we have FEMA. FEMA is ready to give them money too. So things are working out pretty good for them over there. I mean, in terms of people reaching out to help them.
Yeah. Let's look at the security angle to this, because there have been reports of, and maybe it's suspected as well, of some unscrupulous element trying rather to use the opportunity, to just get one or two things, to steal, to pillage some of those things. Have the security agencies been on the case?
Yeah, but the truth is that, do you see how bad those houses? I don't know. A same person, I don't know what it think they can get from those buildings, but I know. I don't know. I can't believe a same person would go out there and start stealing. What is there to steal anyway? Everything is burnt down. Everything. I mean, nothing. Cars, everything. One of the actors actually lost. People have safes in their houses and they have money in them. The guy had about $50 million in that safe. Everything burnt down. So everything. So I don't think, from my own perspective, the security is there, but I think they have more important things to deal with to make sure the fire is out than running after somebody that is trying to steal something that is already burnt down,
Okay. From what you said about the firefighters not being able, going to do their best about containing the fire, we have information reaching us that the fire is gradually moving into Brentwood. Is there a possibility that the firefighters can actually hold this off from entering another community?
They can, if, I'm still going to go back to the issue of it. But they can, but the fact remains that, they're working on these two communities right now, and they're overstretched. So from what we are gathering, some firefighters might be going over there from other states to help them out. But the problem, like I said again, is the water pressure that they're going to need, and the wind. If there's any way, I think at this point, it's just a miracle for that wind to stop. If it stops, then it's going to be easier for them to do their job.
So basically, they're not trying to contain the fire anymore. They're only trying to stop it from getting into another community.
They're doing, it's going to be side by side, But at the same time, they would rather make sure it doesn't go into another community. And, I think that would be the best thing for them to do right now. And that's why they have ordered evacuation for another 150,000 people around the area to leave.
Okay.
Good to know. And, we are hearing of transnational help, international help, that in spite of the bit of tension between, especially as Donald J. Trump will be in the saddle in a couple of days because of his position on some of these countries, Canada, Mexico, and in spite of the seeming tension, some of them, we learned, have been sending their firefighters, including Mexico, including Canada, to the U.S. to help in this matter. How important is that for the United States?
Yes, it is. Remember, I said it earlier that some firefighters will be leaving from different states to go and help them out. You see, at this point, this is national disaster.
Right.
And the point, like we were talking about black and white earlier, this is not the time to say, oh, I don't like you, you go this way. This is a crucial period in the United States that we need all the help that we can get. So I think it would be wise for any president to send any help away.
Right. And, many persons feel, because when you hear LA, you hear California, some will think, oh, these are rich guys, the rich neighborhoods, the Hollywood, the superstars live in these places. These, communities that have been affected, what kind of neighborhood is it?
For the Palisades, we have the whites, the rich, the Hollywood people right there. For the 18, the Altadena, we have middle class, historic black people, and so that is the difference. We have the rich people on one side, we have the middle class on the other side.
Okay, what are we looking at as a comeback from this? How, when this whole thing subsides, how do we look at working around this and coming back to ourselves?
That would be tough in the sense that, again, I don't really want to spread the conspiracy theory that they're talking about right now, but some insurance companies actually dropped their fire policies 3 months ago. So most people don't even have insurance. So it is difficult for them to rebuild their homes. From what we gathered, some insurance company refused to. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Please go ahead.
I think I don't know what happened to. Now, from what we had, some insurance companies refused to include fire in their insurance policies.
Why?
I don't know. That's the point. That's why they're saying there's so many conspiracy theories going around. Some of them actually you call them to say, hey, we're not going to cover your fire. If there's fire, it's not going to be covered by the policy. Some of them that actually wanted to renew their policies, the insurance companies said, no, we're going to cover you for water damage, for this, for that, but fire, we're not going to cover you.
All right.
So another problem they're having over there now. A lot of people, their houses are not covered. So if your house is not covered, that's it. Insurance will not pay you. Nothing's going to happen.
All right. It's a lot right now. The insurance company, hospitals, Airbnbs, hotels, neighborhoods, families, everybody must just help everybody. And it's good to know that, that has been the case. And our thoughts and prayers are with those affected right now. We're speaking, with Bolachi Atonda, a resident there. She spoke with us from Philadelphia. Thank you, ma'am, for your time, and we wish you all the best as well.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
All right. A pleasure to have you. And we'll take this quick break. When we return, the conversation will continue. Stay with us.